April can be a really hectic month for gardeners as a lot of our last frost dates have passed, including ours. Ours was about April 15th. And so we are really hurrying to get everything into the ground, get everything in as fast as we can so it can start growing. And we have finally gotten almost everything in the ground except for one extra bed that we haven't filled yet. But I thought it'd be really fun to go around and show you guys what we have in the ground. And I actually saw another creator on YouTube do this where she posted a garden tour every month just to see how the garden progresses, how plants like our garlic may be replaced with something else later on, and just to kind of see how dramatic the garden really is throughout the different seasons. Right in front of me I have our garlic. And this is the first year that we have successfully grown garlic. Last year the attempt was definitely made at planting garlic and growing garlic, but we had so many heavy rains and it just flooded so much. All of our garlic actually ended up rotting and we didn't get any. So this year I have it in a raised bed and we planted it in November and we added blood meal. And these have just grown fantastically. I don't know if they're soft neck or hard neck. Luckily we're in a place where it doesn't matter which type it is. I'm in Oklahoma and that just doesn't matter to us. We can grow both varieties here. And so I guess we'll see in May if these produce scapes. If they do, then pretty sure that means that they're hard neck. And if they don't, then that'll be soft neck. But no idea which varieties. They're just cool and they're growing very well. On top of our garlic, we have our radishes here, which will only stand for, I don't know, probably a couple more weeks, just to really bulb up. You can see in there that they're teeny tiny. Some snapdragons in the mix. And then this is a 7-pot chocolate pepper, really super hot. And then this is a Mad Hatter pepper. They're actually really sweet. They're super good. And then that's a habanada. And across this trellis here, we've got orange watermelon, normal watermelon, and butternut. And I want to say that that is a cantaloupe. Now across the way, we have our cilantro, just some extra herbs. And then this is a crimson sweet watermelon, orange watermelon. I believe that's a orange watermelon, and then a peach vine mango, and then a tomato there at the very, very end. And then in through here, we just have different types of tomatoes and peppers. There's a super hot at the very end. This is a dwarf tomato. It will only get less than a foot tall. And you can see it's already got buds on it. And this tomato already has a little tomato on it. And then I have this pea that was technically not a volunteer, but acted like a volunteer. I planted seeds in like early February, and I was like, if they're gonna sprout, they're gonna sprout. And then I forgot about them, and they didn't sprout until like early March. And now they were the first things to sprout out of the entire garden, and they're kind of tall. They're about as tall as I am, unless I'm really standing up straight. They're very tall. There was a big old wood bee in here like 5 minutes ago. It's behind me. I'm gonna leave, but I've got peas on it. So this is currently, I think, my favorite bed. I love it so much. It's got so much going on with it. It's got some beautiful color. And this is like our berry slash like cold weather crop bed. Here I have some salvia. Love it. So beautiful. Hit with the bees. Hit with me. It's the first thing that blooms. Love it. It's a perennial. It overwintered. Fantastic. Now past it, we've got a load of lettuce and strawberries. Now our strawberries are already producing. We've gotten like 3 strawberries total so far, but we are going to get many more very soon. There's so many green ones. I think we ended up counting like almost 40 green berries, which I'm very excited about. We have never grown that many strawberries. And then we have our lettuce, and then in the middle, that big old cabbage looking thing is a fielder kraut. It takes 180 days from seed to harvest, but it's a giant triangular cabbage. It's really cool. I'm hoping that we get one. And then here we have our blueberry. Didn't have a lot of berries on it this year, but that's all right. Just a few is enough for us. And then on this trellis in the back, we have, it's symmetrical. We have a thornless blackberry on each side, and then a grape on each side, and then one red raspberry going up the top. And it doesn't look great from this angle, but it does have a lot of foliage on it, and it's growing very well, and I'm very excited about it. Other than that, we have onions mixed in here and some herbs. I think we have some dill and some chamomile and cilantro, but it's mainly a strawberry lettuce berries bed. So to the left of that berry lettuce whatever bed, we have this giant 40-gallon grow bag, and it looks very lush, very full right now. But the main reason that we have this grow bag is these are prickly, is for this fig. And it's kind of probably hard to see, but radishes are spiky. So we have really bad soil here in Oklahoma, and our whole backyard is just like a giant rock. You can't really dig in it. So we wanted to try growing a normal fig. I think this is an Olympian fig in a giant grow bag. And so far, it's doing really well. It did overwinter last year, but we didn't take good care of it last year. It was very small, didn't have a lot of growth. So we overwintered it and then planted it this spring, and it actually has a lot of growth on it. I think it's doing very well, which I'm very excited about. I love, love, love figs. So I'm hoping that that is a success this year. Now, in the rest of this bed, this extra foliage, we have our radishes. Now, I've already harvested some out, just the really large radishes, but they grow very quickly, and so I think it's about time to harvest them out again. Now, other than radishes, I also have some of our slower growers in here. I have our carrots, and these are going to be a good kind of living mulch almost, and this fig tree will get much higher than the tops of these carrots, and so it will be a great way to really amplify the space that we have. This bed is what I'm calling my preserving bed, and I'm calling it that because pretty much everything that we have on this trellis we can preserve. So these big old leaves right here are our cucumbers, and so they will grow up this trellis and we will make pickles, obviously. And then back there we have our beans. Now, I did direct sow those about 2 weeks ago, right when our last frost date passed, and they have all sprouted. They're coming up, they're healthy, and I'm really excited. They are a variety that we grew last year. I forget the name, but I think they're called yard-long beans. They grow over a foot, and I just think that they're so fun. They're so cool. They're easy to pick because you can see them. They're super long. They're real hard to miss, especially when they're hitting you in the face. And they're perfect for canning. One long bean is about 4 or 5 normal sized green beans, and they produce a lot. And so it's a really great way to get in a lot of produce for not a lot of space. Then on this other side, I have 3 Roma tomatoes. These are all San Marzanos. I really wanted to get into preserving more this year, and so these will be our sauce tomatoes. Of course, you can make sauce with any tomatoes, but these will be our designated sauce tomatoes. And in the very back, I've got a couple different squash. Squash generally don't do very well here in Oklahoma, and so I'm doing those because I always have to try squash. I love squash. Love-hate relationship. Most likely something else will go there within the next month when they all get killed over by squash bugs or vine borers, but for now, that's what we have there. In the middle, we have an eggplant, some onions, another one of those filter cut cabbages, some agastache in the middle. That is a hit for pollinators and hummingbirds. I think they're so pretty, and apparently the hummingbirds do too. And then I have a toothache plant that is very small over here, and our toothache plant we grew last year. It stayed pretty small, but it produced a lot of flowers, and you really don't need a lot of flowers. For those of you that don't know what a toothache plant is, it's a flower that produces little buds that when you chew, numb out your mouth, like make it all tingly. They're also known as buzz buttons, and I just think they're the coolest thing ever. I don't have much of a use for them, but they are pretty, and they are like kind of a cool party trick almost. And then I have a straw flower and some chamomile here. I try and have a flower on the ends of my beds just for like an extra pop of color when somebody's walking through, because I feel like that's the first thing that people notice. And then I have a couple extra unplanted things here, but we'll move on. So this is another one of those beds that I'm just super excited about. This is mainly a pepper bed, except for some tomatoes that we have along the trellis. A giant Mongolian sunflower at the very end that gets about 12 feet tall. It gets so big. I'm so excited for it. We've got an eggplant right here and some onions and herbs scattered throughout as well. Now, very few of these peppers are actually super hot peppers. That is my boyfriend's bed that we will get to later. But a lot of these are sweet or somewhat hot peppers. And so our first 5 that we have here, stuffing peppers. They get very large. They're perfect for meals. I like stuffing it with ground beef or ground chicken, some other vegetables, some cheese, stick it in the oven. So good. Then we have some other hot peppers. So I think we have a peach stripe, some super nacho jalapenos. I think we have 4 or 5 of those. They produce jalapenos that taste like normal jalapenos, but they're about that long. They get very large, about 6 to 8 inches. So excited for those as well. Those would be great for pickling. And then down the row, we just have kind of a mix of all of our peppers. So we have some habanadas, which are habaneros with no heat. We have a Hallows Eve, a Jamaican yellow mushroom, just a bunch of different random stuff. We've got more peppers than that. I just don't remember the names right now. And then we have this tall marigold at both ends of the bed. They get about 4 feet tall, very large marigolds. I'm very excited for them. We planted marigolds by our tomatoes last year and had like 3 tomato hornworms the entire season, versus the year before then where we had no marigolds and they all got decimated. It was terrible. And then we have 5 slicing tomatoes on this trellis. We have, I think we have 2 vintage wine tomatoes, a pineapple tomato, a dark galaxy, and a Bulgarian giant tomato. Very excited for those. We'll use those for sauce and salsas as well. But we do really enjoy slicing tomatoes for salads and BLTs and just like chomping on like an apple. It's good. So this is my boyfriend's bed, so I won't talk too much about it because I just don't know that much about it. But this whole, there's a lizard on the floor. This whole bed is filled with super hot peppers. And I'm talking, okay. And I'm talking the hot peppers. So we have Carolina Reaper, Trinidad Scorpion, and everything in between. This has kind of become his hyperfixation, and I love it. I love it. They make such pretty peppers. They get very tall. They're cool. Not actually. They're very spicy, actually. But I guess we will be trying them. I told him I want to make my own pepper spray. Whether or not we'll do that, probably not. But wouldn't it be cool? I also have mint right here. I didn't plant it. Past 3 years I haven't planted it. But it comes back and we welcome it. Here we are at the front of our house. Normally people have pretty flowers at the front of their house. We've got cucumbers and peppers, and I think that's fine. I think it's just as good, actually. We do have some mums that flower in the late fall, and I did plant some of those butterfly pea seeds. So I am waiting for those to sprout. I think they will sprout soon because we're about to get some rain. But we're just utilizing our space correctly. So I won't go over this space too much just because right now it looks kind of bad. But these are our lemons. They were in the greenhouse and I got too hot. And it ejected its lemons. So now it's producing new ones. It's healing. It's on its path to healing. We just have to give it time. And then this is our Ponderosa lemon. It didn't have time to set fruit yet. And so now it's finally getting to set some fruit. And it's hopefully going to heal as well. This is going to be our wildflower bed. I planted some seeds in here a while back. So we have this lavender that I bought, and then this dianthus that I bought as well. And then I can't tell if these are weeds or not. These could very well be a weed, but it could also be a straw flower, and I just don't know. So I'm going to wait and see. But I'm pretty sure All of these are cosmos, and then these I did plant. These are a mix of Mongolian sunflowers and some other sunflower that I don't remember, but I'll put up on the screen. And then back there is a Mexican sunflower. They get about 2 to 4 feet tall, 2 to 4 feet wide. Super pretty, vibrant flowers. Very excited for those. Coming around to the other side, we've got 2 tomatoes. This one is a dark galaxy. It's got some basil in there. And this one is a dark galaxy as well. And look at all those buds. We are going to be swimming in flowers, and I'm okay with that. So this is definitely one of those areas where you will come back in a month and this whole bed will be filled and it'll be lush, hopefully, and, you know, look less bare. But right now, what you can see is some of that garlic that we have planted over there. We decided to plant over here as well, just because, you know, if it went wrong in one space, at least we'd have a backup in a different space. And so far, these are doing really well as well. Now behind me, I actually have 3 different pepper plants. So this one here is a lilac bell pepper. It makes really pretty bell peppers that are just a bright lilac purple, very pretty. Then this is another super nacho, the peppers that we had over there that make those really, really big jalapenos. This one is a T-Rex yellow. I don't remember much about this one. I just know that it's hot. So I may leave that one be for a while. And then I have a really small celosia over here. If you are not familiar with celosia, I nicknamed it the brain flower because it looks like a giant brain. And then down at that corner, I have 3 different okra. They are the heavy hitter type of okra, and so they produce, I think they produce up to like 200 pods per year, which is a crazy amount. And then here, it hasn't sprouted yet, but I did put some tomatillo seeds. I really only need 1. I grew 2 last year and it was too many. So 1 for this year is enough. You can see back there I've got my grow bag. It's got 3 peppers in it, some zinnias, my swing. This is my oasis. And last but not least, this is going to be a flower bed. And so here I have a like purple carnation. This is another toothache plant just because they're cool and they're small. This is a celosia. In the back, I have another one of those Mongolian sunflowers that get really large. And apparently right here, and I didn't even mean to, but this is a cosmo, and then these seedlings are all cosmos that have come up. This is a grass. Crazy. But I planted cosmos all the way through here. I have 3 different varieties. One's just like a mix of like yellow and orange. This one is a pink one. It was a volunteer in my greenhouse and it survived, so we planted it. And then there's another variety that's called lemonade, and those are through here, and I think those are so pretty as well. This is the time of year when everything just starts to thrive, and it's so fun and so exhilarating to just come out here every morning and see if something has grown or flowered or a little pea has come out of its flower. It just brings so much joy and so much connection with the nature around me. It really just reminds me why I wait so long to garden, why I wait, you know, from November of last year to April of this year to put stuff out on the ground, and why we do all of the extensive planning and the seed starting and the bed amending. It's just really a great sense of gratification for it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I hope that you come back for next month's garden tour.